right now.
All right, Fame Monarchy family, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is so messy, so unhinged, so absolutely wild that you're going to need a flowchart and possibly a therapist to process it all. We're talking about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, two of the biggest names in rap, who've officially crossed a line so far into the danger zone that even the line can't see them anymore. And spoiler alert, it involves their kids, backhanded apologies that would make a snake feel insulted, and enough drama to fuel an entire Netflix limited series. So if you thought celebrity feuds couldn't get any messier, oh sweet summer child, sit down and let me tell you a story. Now picture this, you're 7 years old, you're showing off your cute little press-on nails on your mom's Instagram, living your best innocent child life, and suddenly you're dragged into a rap beef that's spiraling faster than a tornado in a trailer park. That's exactly what happened to Cardi B's daughter Kulture when Nicki Minaj decided to write her a letter that was less apology and more passive-aggressive masterclass. And when I say this letter was dripping with sarcasm, I mean it was so sarcastic that even the internet, the birthplace of pettiness, collectively gasped and said, "Girl, what are you doing?" So let's set the scene. For days, Cardi and Nicki have been going at it on social media like two gladiators in the Colosseum. Except instead of swords they're wielding tweets, and the audience is millions of people with popcorn. The beef seemed like it might be cooling down, tensions easing, everyone taking a breath. But then Nicki Minaj, in true fashion, decided to throw gasoline on the dying embers with a post that started with Dear Kulture. Yes, you heard that right. A letter to a 7-year-old child who, fun fact, doesn't even have an X account. Because nothing says, "I'm taking the high road," like addressing a child in a public feud with their mother. Minaj's letter opened with this gem. "Truth is, I did all of this for a bigger purpose and one day you'll understand." Ma'am, she's 7. The biggest purpose she understands right now is probably whether she gets dessert before or after dinner. But Nicki didn't stop there. Oh no. She went on to say, "You're a cute child and lots of kids have cute little funny looking gums before they grow into all of their features. Let me translate that for you. You're cute but, and we all know that anything before the but doesn't count. That's like saying, no offense, but, and then proceeding to offend everyone in a 5-mile radius. The timing of this letter? Chef's kiss levels of petty. It dropped right after Cardi posted that adorable video of Kulture showing off her nails. Coincidence? I think not. Nicki acknowledged Kulture's innocence while simultaneously keeping the heat cranked up to maximum on Cardi, calling herself a person of integrity, and referring to her own son as a young prophet. Because nothing screams integrity like involving children in adult drama, right? She closed the letter with, "This isn't who I am," which is hilarious because, bestie, you literally just showed us exactly who you are by writing this in the first place. Now, if you thought Cardi B was going to take this lying down, you clearly don't know Cardi B. This woman responded with the energy of someone who just had their last nerve not just touched but trampled on, set on fire, and thrown into a volcano. She wrote her own letter to Nicki's 5-year-old son, affectionately nicknamed Papa Bear. Except Cardi opened with Dear Papa Perk, because subtlety has officially left the building. And what followed was not an apology. It was a nuclear-level clapback that made the internet collectively clutch its pearls. Cardi's letter started with, "I'm sorry that your mommy haven't cut you a birthday cake for the past 3 days cause she can't take my success or happiness." Ouch. That's hitting below the belt, through the floor, and somewhere around the Earth's core. But she didn't stop there. She escalated into territory so dark and personal that even the most hardcore drama enthusiasts were like, okay, maybe we need to pump the brakes here. She brought up alleged family histories, referenced serious accusations, and basically threw every piece of ammunition she had in her arsenal. It was brutal. It was uncomfortable. And it was exactly the kind of response you'd expect from someone who felt their child had been disrespected first. Here's where it gets even messier, if that's even possible at this point. Cardi addressed the child directly, saying, "Please don't hate me when you grow up cause your mommy rather give me more attention than she gives you." That's not just a shot at Nicki. That's a tactical strike designed for maximum emotional damage. She ended by hoping someone would get Nicki the help she needs and maybe read you a book. Which is simultaneously savage and sad because, again, we're talking about actual children being dragged through the mud by their mother's beef. But wait, there's more. Because one letter wasn't enough, Cardi doubled down with another post, making it crystal clear what she thought about Nicki's so-called apology. Don't give my child no backhanded apology. Keep my child name out your mouth, cause I'ma always take you where you don't want to go about mine, she wrote. Translation: you want to play dirty? I can play dirtier. She acknowledged the toll this was taking, admitting, honest truth, this going back and forth about kids is really draining my energy. Finally, a moment of self-awareness in this absolute circus of chaos. Now let's talk about what led us to this point, because this didn't just materialize out of thin air. For 3 days, these two have been trading insults that would make a WWE wrestler blush. Nicki called Kulture ugly and described Cardi's daughters as a monkey and a roach. Yes, you heard that correctly. Those words actually left someone's fingers and were typed onto the internet for the world to see. In response, Cardi called Nicki's son slow and claimed he was nonverbal. This is the level of discourse we've reached, folks. Two grown women, both mothers, both successful artists, reducing themselves to making fun of each other's children in the most vile ways imaginable. The thing about this whole situation that makes it so deeply uncomfortable is that these are real children who will one day grow up and see all of this. Imagine being Kulture or Papa Bear years from now, Googling your name, and finding pages upon pages of your mom and another famous rapper dragging each other through the dirt while using you as ammunition. That's therapy bills for days. That's trust issues, identity crises, and a whole host of psychological damage that no amount of money or fame can undo. So what's the takeaway from all this absolute madness? Well, Fame Monarchy fam, we've witnessed two incredibly talented artists completely lose the plot in the most public way possible. We've seen apologies that weren't really apologies, letters that were actually missiles, and a level of pettiness that will probably be studied in future courses on celebrity feuds. As of right now, Nicki hasn't responded to Cardi's latest salvo, which means we're all just sitting here waiting for the next explosion in what feels like an inevitable escalation. Will Nicki fire back? Will someone finally step in and end this madness? Will these two ever realize that involving their innocent children is crossing every line that should never be crossed? Stick around, because something tells me this story is far from over, and whatever happens next is going to be absolutely explosive. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments what you think about this entire situation. Fame Monarchy out.